All right, in this example, we are given a circle and its equation, but we want to do more with that equation because we don't know too much about the circle. So we're going to complete the square so we know what the center of the circle is and what the radius squared is so we can figure out the radius. We're also given that ABCD in quadrilateral ABCD, CB and CD are tangent to circle A at B and D respectively. So when I start marking the diagram, the two radii of the same circle are congruent. And if you remember that two tangent theorem, and two tangent segments meet in an external point, it's like that ice cream cone. I refer to it as ice cream cone theorem. The two tangent segments are congruent to each other. So when you mark the diagram, you recognize that ABCD, that quadrilateral, must be a kite. So ABCD is a kite by the definition of a kite, as it has two pairs of consecutive sides that are congruent. Okay, so we need to know that ABCD is a kite, and then they gave us the area of the kite. They gave us a diagonal of the kite. So I feel like it's kind of set up where I need this other diagonal. So let's kind of see if we can figure that out. So the area is 51. One diagonal is 6. So let's draw that diagonal in. And that is 6. So 1/2 of 6 multiplied by AC must be equal to 51. So 3 by AC is 51, so AC must be 17. So the distance from A to C must be 17. Okay, well they also gave us this equation of the circle, so I wonder if we can kind of go with step 2 here. If we complete the square, I'll know the center of circle A. They already gave us C is at 6 comma M. And now that I know the distance, let me fix that. Okay, 6 comma M is point C. And the distance from A to C is 17. So if I can figure out the location of A, and I know this length is 17, I feel like it's just a distance formula problem to finish up. So they gave us x squared plus 4x plus y squared minus 6y is equal to 7. So we're going to complete this square to know more about this circle. So we're going to have, if I have x squared plus 4x, that's going to come from the square of x plus 2 quantity squared, because x plus 2, if you expand it out, you're going to have x plus 2 times x plus 2, which is going to get you x squared. It's going to get you 2x plus 2x, which is 4x, but it's going to add a 4 to this problem that wasn't already there. So to complete the square here, I would need to add 4 to both sides of the equation. Okay, and then I could do the same thing with over here with the y squared minus 6y. So I'll have plus y minus 3 quantity squared, because that's going to guarantee me a y squared. It's going to guarantee me negative 3y twice, but it's also going to give me a 9 that wasn't part of the problem. So I'm going to have to add a 9 to both sides of the equation to complete the square there. So my equation of the circle is actually x plus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared is equal to 20. So that means point A is located at negative 2 comma 3, and the radius squared is equal to 20. So the radius is going to equal 2 root 5. Okay, there might be another way to go about the problem where we could use the radius and maybe even need the radius, but because I have the location of A and it's at negative 2 comma 3, and I have most of the location of C, I have it as 6 comma M. There's only one unknown there, but I also know the distance from A to C was 17. I could do my distance formula. The distance from A to C should be equal to the square root of 6 plus 2 squared plus M minus 3 quantity squared. But since AC is 17, I'm going to use substitution there, right? So A17 is equal to the square root of, that's going to be 8 squared, which is 64, plus the quantity of m minus 3 squared. Square both sides, so 289 is equal to 64 plus m minus 3 quantity squared. So subtract 64, so we're 225 is equal to m minus 3 squared. Take the square root of both sides. 225 is a perfect square. So we have plus or minus 15 is equal to m minus 3. So then when we add 3 to both sides, we should have m is equal to positive 15 plus 3, which would be 18, or negative 15 plus 3, which is negative 12. Since we're talking about a location or part of a location, we'd have to include both answers. All right, thank you.